Now, last time we were making units and SI base unit and SI units. Today we will be discussing one feature of equations and formulas. This feature is called homogeneity of equation or formulas. In order to be a homogeneous equation, a formula should have exact same SI base units on both sides of equal sign. Okay, homogeneity means that a formula should have same final unit on one side and same final unit on the other side of equal sign. That means that let's see, let's check some known formula that if they are homogeneous or not. We have done a formula of power equals to force multiplied by speed. Now this formula has two sides, one on the left side of the equal sign, one on the right side. On the left side we have power. Now what is SI base unit of power? Some of you might remember, but I can take you back to where we did the formula for power. Here this is pressure, this is power. Power has an SI base unit of kilogram meter square per second cube. So power kilogram meter square per second cube. Let's see, do we have the same on the other side or not? Force. I recommended that you need to remember some of the SI base units, but if you don't, you can find them out while you're solving a question as well. F, what is the basic formula for F? F equals to MA. So it is kg meter per second square. So we can use kg meter per second square. And what is the formula for velocity? It is meter per second. And let's see what happens when we multiply these two. Meter and meter together becomes meter square. So kg meter square. S minus 2, S minus 1, S minus 3. This means the formula is homogeneous. Okay. Now let's take it one step up. Second formula, 2as equals to v square minus u square. Now, how do we check this? 2 will not do anything in the makings of unit. A, meter per second square, into S, meter. So we have meter square per second square on the left hand side. Now go on the right hand side, and this is a new thing for you that you have to understand. Velocity, final velocity, is meter per second square minus meter per second, sorry, per second square. Now, if we add or subtract the final unit is same, and only same quantities can be added or subtracted. So listen, if you have this kind of equation, then you can split it into three parts: part one, part two, and part three. And individually, these three parts have to have the same unit. Because if you're subtracting two quantities, they must be same quantities. Otherwise, you cannot subtract them. So v square can only be u square can only be subtracted from v square. So this will be meter square per second square. The final unit is same. So equation is homogeneous. Okay. Normally in exam, when these questions come in exam, examiner gives you an equation or a formula that you're not familiar with. For listen, for units, for uncertainty, and for one more thing was there. Sometimes for measurements, he can ask you to deal with a formula that you're totally unfamiliar with. So do not panic when you open your final AS exam and on the first page you find an equation that you never saw before, because it might be an uncertainty question or um, unit question or homogeneity question, and in these cases examiner is supposed to give you an equation that you're not used to of using before. Okay, so he wants you to check whether you can apply the knowledge that you have on a new equation or not. So I'm doing the same over here. One equation that you don't have is in this syllabus is energy equals to mc delta theta, where E is heat energy, joules, M is mass, C is specific heat capacity, and delta theta is change in temperature. Can you figure out whether this formula is homogeneous or not? And obviously, you're familiar with this formula because you must have done it in IGCSE. So I'm more interested in the working. You have to solve it on a paper, take a picture, send it in the group. Okay? You have exactly 2 minutes to do that. I will recommend that you take a screenshot from here. Done? Okay. Okay. I have given you time. Now I'm solving it by myself. This will be joule. You can leave it as joule, but you can also convert it into kg meter square per second square. Now, mass will be in kgs. C, specific capacity, it is in joules per kg per Kelvin. Temperature is in kelvins. So I think you can clearly see that you're cutting Kelvin with Kelvin and kg with kg, and you're left with joule. This is why I told you that you can just leave the other one as joule. But now let's convert this one into SI base unit, kg meter square per second square. Hence, this equation is homogeneous. Okay. Now I have sent you another question, and I hope you people are solving it. It is a 5-mark question. In the first part, examiner, like, see how smart the examiner is. He's giving you, like, by giving you these numbers or names, he's reducing options for you. Now he wants you to give 2 more SI base units. And this is the word that is very important. He's asking for units, not quantities. Then you have to find out SI base unit of U. And he has given you a formula. It means this is a correct equation. You have to believe that, and then use that equation to find SI base unit of mu. Good question, just 5 marks. It should not take more than 5 minutes. You can solve it on a paper, take a picture, and send me the image. First of all, to solve this question, we need like, it is best if you remember all 7 of them. And if examiner has killed 3 options for you, you have to pick any 2 from the remaining 4 options. And any 2 of these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be good for this one. And then to find SI base unit of mu, we just put the values or the units of SI base units of every quantity in the correct order, then see what mathematics we could do. It is very much similar that what we did in maths in indices in previous years. And we find out the final unit of quantity. And this is a very simple 5 marks. I think you understand. Any queries, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Good. So now, what's next? Let me give you another question. I hope we have time. Yes, we have plenty of time. One more use of homogeneity. Question. An incomplete formula for time period of pendulum is given below. Time period equals to K, length of pendulum, and gravitational acceleration. But the problem is the power on L is X and power on Y G is Y. Calculate numeric values of X and Y and complete the formula. Again, it is a formula that is not in your syllabus. Neither you have studied it in previous classes, nor you are going to study this in AS. Okay. So let's see if you can use your mathematics and physics skills over here. If it would be a standard SI exam question, examiner will always give you the list of series, list of um, quantities there. So T is time period. So you should know that unit for time period is seconds. L is length of pendulum. G is gravitational acceleration. K is a constant with no unit. Can you complete the formula and find the values of X and Y? Now, this requires some good mathematics skills as well. T equals to K L power X and G power Y. I'm solving this for you guys. Pay attention. So on the left side, it is very simple. It is time period, so the unit will be seconds. On the right hand side, though, K is constant and has no unit, so it will not participate in the makings of units. Length is measured in meters, and there is a power on M, which is X. G is meter per second square, and there is a power which is Y. And these two units on the right hand side and left hand side should be equal. So on the left hand side, we have seconds. On the right hand side, we have mx, my, s minus 2y. Because the y will multiply with the powers inside. M has a power 1. 1 multiplied by y is y. Minus 2 multiplied by y is minus 2y. Okay. So s m power x plus y. If we have same basis, we add the powers. And s power minus 2y. Stay with me. We now need to compare the powers on both sides. Do we have any m on the left side? No, we don't. It means if there would be an m on the left side, its power should be 0. Now compare. When we compare, the power on the right hand side is x plus y. The power on the left hand side is 0. So that means x plus y equal to 0. And The power on S on the left side is 1. On the right hand side is minus 2y. It means 1 equals to minus 2y. Y equals to minus 1 over 2. So y plus minus 1 over 2 equal to 0. Now, if I solve this for the value of, sorry, I think I have made it to go away. It is x plus the value of y is minus 1 over 2. So x will be equal to 1 over 2. Okay, this was the goal. We needed the value of x and y. Now we can put it back into the equation and find out the final equation. Time period equals to k L power 1 over 2 and g power minus 1 over 2. That means like if we want to rearrange, it can be t equals to k L power 1 over 2 over g power 1 over 2 and t equals to k. Power 1 over 2 means square root. So this is the actual formula. And just for your information, k is equal to 2 pi. Okay. So this is how we can find out some missing powers or something in questions. And if you practice past papers, you might find some of the questions like this in past papers as well. Examiner does not give these kind of questions anymore because they carry too much marks, and then options for examiner reduce to give you some questions from more challenging topics. So now examiner only reduced itself to like 3 or 4 mark question or 5 mark questions from this topic. I hope you understood. Any questions?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Okay.